Should I?
Yeah. Guys, we're live again at Wookey Hole Caves. We've just been to the paper mill. We did experience a few things, but we really were itching to get back to the caves because the activity was amazing. So we're just doing a little experiment at the moment. We're at the first chamber of the caves, and this is where the Wookey Hole would have originally lived, and this is where her skeleton, her remains were actually found. It's within this area that if you start talking about the witch, it kind of creates activity. So we've got with us Jamie, our tour guide, so he's going to make out and tell the story of the witch of the Wookey Hole, hoping to pick something up. So here we go.
Can you film it from there now?
And if you hear anything, make a comment.
In ancient days, tradition shows a base and wicked elf arose, the witch of Wookey Height. In her dark and dismal cell, which seemed and was e-clubbed hell, this blear-eyed hag did hide. 9 wicked elves, the legend saying, she chose to form her guardian train and kennel by her side. And here screeching owls oft made their nests, whilst wolves its craggy sides possessed, night howling through the rock, and no wholesome herb could here be found. She blasted every plant around, and blistered every flock. Her haggard face was foul to see, her mouth unmeet a mouth to be, her eyne of deadly leer. And she naught devised but neighbours ill, she wreaked on all her wayward will, and marred all goodly cheer. But all in her prime have poets sung, no gaudy youth, gallant or young, ever blessed her longing heart. And hence arose her spite to vex, and blast the youth of either sex by dint of hellish charms. So from Glaston came a learned wight, full bent to mar her fell despite, and well he did, I ween, such mischief never has been known, and since his mickle learned shown, such mischief never has been. He chanted from his godly book, he crossed the water and blessed the brook, and then, with paternoster done, the ghastly hag he sprinkled over, when lo, where stood the hag before, now stood a ghastly stone. But though this learned wight did well, with a grieved heart, alas I tell, she left a curse behind. That Wookey nymphs, forsaken quite, though sense and beauty both unite, shall find no leman kind. For as the wicked fiend did say, the sex have found that to this day men are wondrous scant, and there's beauty, sense and wit combined, with all that's good and virtuous joined, yet hardly one gallant. So shall these maids unpitied moan, and just like her be made of stone, and thus forsaken dwell. For Glaston can now boast no clerks. Come down from Oxenford, ye sparks, and oh revoke the spell, yet stay and not despond ye fair. Virtue is the god's peculiar care, and I hear the gracious voice. Your sex shall soon be blessed again. We only wait to find such men that best deserve your choice.
When you were doing that, you stirred something up. I can see what that lady's on about now.
What did you get?
There's a couple of voices. They were talking over you as a female.
Yeah. Did you not care what they were saying?
It was more hissing. Almost like she didn't like it.
Maybe it's the way maybe the story's been changed so
over
much
time.
over time.
Yeah.
It's not the real story.
Who made the poem?
That was Dr. Harrington, Dr. Henry Harrington He lived in Bath in 1748. So this is a good 200 years, centuries later.
So it's going to be closer though than anything done now.
But that's the earliest written account we've got.
Right. You're very good at poetry. Do you do it on stage?
No, I learned that in the lockdown. Well,
Oh,
everyone
did
was
you?
doing Joe Wick.
You learn poetry. It's good. You should do it on stage.
I was just thinking, how do you remember that? Because
And the way you tell it as well is like right. It's really theatric. I like it. It's very good.
I'm passionate. Whoever she was, I do care about her.
Yeah. And that's nice because you work here, so you know.
And it's like telling the story of somebody who can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
Which is what we're trying. That's what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. We're both in the same line of work.
Yeah. No, you're very good at it. It's very good.
we think maybe she wasn't a witch. Because back in them days, if she was very spiritual, like we
yeah.
are now into paranormal, they would
And
class
healer.
her as a witch.
Yeah.
If she was into
gossip,
healing and that sort of stuff, they would class her as a witch, and they would probably, run her out like they did. And she might have just been an innocent person that was into this sort of thing. And they just classed her as a witch because they wouldn't have back then.
Today's society should be known as a healer.
What's that?
Yeah. In today's society,
Did no one else
she
see
would,
that?
There's a couple voices. When
Yeah.
you
No,
watch it.
there was a.
she would be. I went like that.
No, it
It's
comes from
very
down
likely
there.
as well if she was hated by the people in the village. If she was some hermit or woman that lived in here, kept her goats, lived off them.
Yeah.
Very likely they could have rumoured about her and come in here and completely
Absolutely.
lynched
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Because come on, that happens now. If there was a man who lived in a home on his own and it was a bit of a hoarder or something, who's gonna? Everyone would target him.
He's a creepy
He's
old man.
a creepy old man
What
who
better way
twitches
than
out his
to hide
window.
it behind a legend?
Yeah,
But she was probably a
absolutely.
perfectly innocent woman that just was a little bit spiritual or a little bit different or...
But it's interesting, Tony just said,
I could
it's
hear
like
it.
somebody was listening.
I kept pointing to Tony.
However, when they found her skeleton, they found a crystal ball.
Which is what I said, she may have been into the paranormal, she might have been into that sort of thing, but it doesn't make her a witch.
No,
What, to have a crystal ball?
Yeah.
no, not a witch. Not a witch. My nan could do tea leaf reading, but she wasn't a witch.
How many people do you see now? Old Gypsy Rosie Lee down
Yeah.
there has got a crystal ball, but it's not a
Don't make her
witch.
a witch.
Oh, I don't know, I think that's a witch. Gypsy Lee.
No, I think she was just misunderstood, and that might be why she is so bitter. When people come in here and go, "Where's the witch? Where's the witch?" She hisses at them.
Yeah, but the witch markings.
I think that's people still scared about the witch centuries later.
And leaving markings.
And do you know about the little witch's dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little stone down there.
So when Herbert Bouch, the guy who found the skeleton, when he excavated before they opened the caves up for the showcase, he found bones everywhere there. No skeletons, but bones, and it was because for centuries people would come in and they would give the dog a bone.
Leave the dog a bone.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of superstition. There's a lot of folklore in here.
She's definitely here.
Right. I might be going crazy, but it just sounded like someone was marching, like crossly, walking really like stompily. Did you hear that or not?
I've had walking. I've had voices, and it's definitely a female.
I don't know, but the hairs on the back of my neck have just gone up.
Have they?
I think she's listening. I think a lot of it's making sense to her, but I think she wants to.
She wants to carry on now. She might as well carry on being the person she is. She's got to like keep up with the tales.
I'd like to know more about her story and keep telling it for you, whoever you are.
Tell us your story. We can help you spread the right story.
She probably is just fed up with people coming in there. Going, witch, where's the witch?
Oh yeah, we get people that haven't got the time in the world to listen.
Yeah.
If the witch is here and you're listening, can we just hear your voice, please? Or can you bang?
Maybe you could just tell us your name.
And tell us if you're happy being called a witch, or if you'd rather not be called a witch. Tell us that. That would be nice.
That's what I was going to say. Rather than keep referring to you as a witch,
just be nice to have a name to say.
Maybe we could talk to you as a person.
Can you speak as loud as possible, just so we can hear you? It'd be lovely to refer you to your real name. Wouldn't you like your real name to be put out there to the world, so when people come in, they can say hi and call you by your name?
Maybe you're happy being a famous Wookey hole witch.
I was just about to say that. If you are, let us know if it's fine the way it is.
Did you not hear that?
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it says?
What?
Yoo-hoo.
I heard like the high. I heard the high bit of it.
It's down there.
Can you say that again, but louder, please?
We've come back one last time before we go, out of respect, just to find out more about you. So please, before we leave, can you leave us with a name? Or even say goodbye? Are your remains, they were found down here, are they your remains of your body? Did you just size then?
Oh, what?
Okay.
Don't know.
Okay.
I don't think she did.
I don't think
she lived, but she didn't.
That sounds like a no.
No, she didn't.
What was your question?
Were your remains found?
They weren't.
Ah, okay. Oh, right, okay. I don't know about that. Doesn't matter. I heard a voice though, that's the main thing. Doesn't matter where they were found.
Because it fits the profile, doesn't it? The story, the legend.
Mm-hmm.
An elderly skeleton, female, found.
Yeah.
And she had a hole in her skull. She'd been hit with something hard, and the story goes that she was bludgeoned to death.
Let's just twist it a little bit.
I've only heard that on the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's lying.
Did you hear that?
I did.
To me, that was a male voice.
Just to change it around a little bit, were you treated badly by people? Maybe that's why you're angry, because of the way you were treated. You don't trust people because you were treated differently. And then we got... Yeah. So maybe if you were treated badly, can you just speak for us and say yes? I'm hearing it down there. Again.
Yeah, me too.
It's weird, isn't it? It's always in the
Mm.
Yeah.
next
Do you want to head down that way?
But I always say, because there's a lot of water down there, I think water conjugates activity.
Right above the river now.
Yeah.
But when we get down there, I can only hear the noise pollution, whereas here I can hear what's going on down there better. Does that even make sense?
Yeah.
So to me, when I get down there, I cannot switch off from the
drifts.
noise pollution, whereas here I can switch off from that and just hear what's being called out. I find it easier being.
I think in the middle, the end bit, where the purple bit is it's not so much noise there. You know, at the very end, not the middle bit there, but right at the very end.
Well, the
middle bit's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, the other bit's fine. It's just the middle bit I find difficult. Should we walk down to that bit then?
Yeah, and it's on the way out, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we'll head down there.
Don't forget to pick the cameras up on the way. Oh,
But
what's
yeah,
that on my shoe?
this is the bit where everyone used to live in. Going back to 250 BC, the Celts.
What's on my shoe?
Huh?
What's that on my shoe?
I think that's a dirty paddle.
What?
Paddle dick girl.
You are in a cave.
White shoes in a muddy
White
cave.
shoes and
Yeah.
Come on.
That's you turning right deeper, isn't
You have.
She has, and the red carpet now and everything.
Bit, don't you?
Get the red carpet out for her. Go on, you go first.
You're gonna have to do
Well,
that.
one of you was supposed to then just instantly polish my shoes and see what's going on.
I've got tissue in my pocket.
But that
I'll do it later.
please.
I've got tissue in my pocket. I'll do it in a bit.
Thank you. As punishment, I'd like you